let's jump into it. A woman pulled out her white privilege card when she got pulled over by the police. How do you think that turned out? We also talking about a few schools in North Carolina that decided they're gonna have armed security there with AR-15s. You think this is gonna be the solution? And then we also talking about the CDC dropping the quarantine and social distancing recommendations for COVID. Does that mean COVID is over? We're gonna talk about all that and a whole bunch more coming up. You kicking it with KC. It's the popular topics, pop tops that may or may not be talked about in the news. This first story coming from news.yahoo.com. Now, this woman who pulled out this white privilege card is actually Filipino. Her name is Mimi Israelah. Now, she's actually from Alaska. No, this is actually a traffic stop in Alaska. She's from California, but she was returning to Alaska, and this is July 9th that this happened. She was attending a Trump rally, and she got pulled over. Didn't have her license, so instead she decided to pull out her white privilege card. The card actually said white privilege card trumps everything. It's the actual card of it. You can check out the picture of it in the link in my bio. But she got pulled over, showed the card, and according to the story, the officer and her had a great big laugh about it, and then he ended up letting her go. Didn't even give her a ticket. So she posted a picture, and you see both of their ass smiling, having a good time in the picture in the little selfie. It's so many things wrong with this. This is the first thing I want to talk about. I know people who feel like white privilege does not exist. Is this an admittance of the existence of white privilege? Now, I know you can't use an example of one or two people from a community and say that they speak for the whole community. I understand that perspective. But what I'm saying is you have a person who's using a white privilege card, actually decided to use it, and then a police officer, a person who's supposed to be a figure of authority, who actually laughs and took it as a joke and let her go without giving her a citation. And not only that, took a picture with her. Come on, bro. Come on, man. This is white privilege. And the fact that this is a Filipino woman, she's not even Caucasian, man. See, that goes to different races and cultures that choose to either pander or skew themselves towards white. That's why you got Hispanic application. You got applications that say Hispanic, white, non-white, that type of stuff. Because some of the Hispanics will claim white. I don't see how you could do that. But at the end of the day, she decided to use this Trump card, this white privilege card. Now, it's not a real card. It's not. I mean, it's an actual card, physical card. But it's not nothing that you can really use in real life. This is just an exception. But the police officers that were involved, they were actually suspended while they investigate this whole thing. They're on administrative leave, I should say, while they investigate this. The officer's name was Nicholas Bowe and Charles Worland. There's two officers that was involved, both white. So this was supposed to be a joke. The woman put it on Facebook, put the picture on Facebook and on social media saying, hey, I got off of my white privilege card, blah, blah, blah. She's a conservative. She's right-wing. And what she said was, when she got all the backlash from people talking about this card, she said, it was just a joke. I can see how liberals always get serious about stuff like this. It was just a joke, blah, blah, blah. This is a very serious question I want to ask in regards to this. Can jokes determine real life narratives? Can they create real life narratives? By that I'm saying, when you joke about stereotypes, you joke about things like this, or you put it in movies and you make it comical and things of that nature, you make it dramatic, theatrical. This is art. I don't want to say imitating life. That could be life, potentially imitating art. If people see that it's a joke, it's on Family Guy. Family Guy makes a joke about a white man being superior, or a black man or a Mexican being inferior. That joke can actually paint an actual narrative where a person or other people can also do that joke in public, but it also creates a narrative. It also pushes the agenda or continues to push the perspective of minorities being inferior and whites being superior, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, it pushes racism with certain jokes like that. Do you think jokes can create narratives? I'm going to say yes. This is why they say you laugh at jokes, because there's truth in them. There's truth in every joke. And I believe that. People are expressing what they really feel and trying to make it comical, but it's actually creating a narrative and stretching it out. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Let's go ahead and switch it up. We've been on this topic a little bit too long. It was interesting though, right? All right, so let's talk about these schools in North Carolina that's deciding to have armed security with AR-15s. It's coming from balleralert.com. This is Madison County Sheriff's Office that made this decision with school officials to place guns in a few schools within Madison County. Now, Sheriff Buddy Harwood, he's the one that made the decision. He said all the firearms, the ammunition, and breaching equipment is going to be locked up in a safe, so it's not going to be easily accessible for anybody there. What you do have to worry about, well, you can have a person that knows that this ammunition, this equipment is there, and then go seek it, and then go do, you know what I'm saying, do some type of damage, God forbid. But you got the superintendent of Madison County, Will Hoffman. He said they've been consulting with local law enforcement, and this is the idea that they came up with. And they was trying to work on a few different solutions, but this is what they came up with. The school year starts August 22nd. See, we got to do something. They're looking at what happened in Uvalde and what happened in other different schools, Sandy Hook, and they're saying, no, we got to stop this. So AR-15s is their solution. More guns in schools? Guns in schools in general, is that the solution to school shootings? I want to say yes and no. Well, yes, because it deters a potential shooter. Anybody that's coming in there, they usually say someone who's going to commit a crime, or especially with a gun or something like of that nature, if they see somebody else with a gun or other people armed where they plan on committing that crime, there is a good chance they won't commit that crime because they know that there's a strong chance of retaliation, immediate retaliation. Robbers and all the other people who do damage with guns and try to do crimes with guns, they usually go to places where guns are not allowed, and they know other people won't have it, so they have the upper hand. So you got a situation like this where they're going to have armed security around with AR-15s, and it's going to be known. So yeah, it is a deterrent for potential school shooters. But what does it do for the kids? What does it do psychologically for the kids, the students that are in that school? You watching people with AR-15s. Now, I don't know if they're just going to be walking around with the guns. I'm assuming maybe they only pull it out when it's necessary. But if you have to go grab the gun in danger times, that means you're unprepared, right? That's not putting you in a good situation. If you have guns and ammunition in a safe, that kind of defeats the purpose if something is really going down. You have to go to the safe to get your gun. So is this really a good idea? I don't know. Should more schools adopt this? This is what I'm going to say. If you are going to have armed security, you are going to have AR-15 shotguns in these institutions, don't tell nobody. People don't need to know this. People don't need to know this. I wouldn't even say the parents should know, but as long as y'all got somebody that really trustworthy, they shouldn't even know. And I'm saying trustworthy because in the sense that worst case scenario, the person with access to the guns actually commits that crime, then you should have let the parents know. But that should be up to y'all discretion. But I think this is a slippery slope to have AR-15 specifically, or even guns. It depends on if it's shown in public or not. That's just how I feel. Let me know what you think. Should more guns be in schools to solve school shootings potentially? Go off in the live chat in the comments for me, man. Let's switch up the last topic real quick. We're talking about COVID is over. Or is it? Question mark. This coming from APnews.com, Associated Press. The nation's top public health agency, CDC, announced that COVID guidelines are officially dropped. Well, they're dropping the recommendations, I should say, for people to quarantine if you get sick. They saying from now, if you get COVID-19, you don't have to stay away from work, stay away from nobody. You can stay in the general public. Just take care of yourself. They're dropping mask requirements. Masks are now a recommendation if you want to. Not even a recommendation. It's like, if you want to, you can wear it. It's permitted. That type of thing. But they're saying 95% of Americans, 95% of the population 16 or older, they've acquired some level of immunity. They're saying it's either from being vaccinated or from being infected. They're saying either way, one of the two has the majority of the population with some type of level of immunity. Now they're saying the numbers have kind of flatlined. they're not seeing a rise in COVID numbers in most places. What does this really mean? Is COVID really over? March 2020 to what? August 2022, 2.5 years? Is it officially over? I knew this day would come. We all knew this day would come. They would drop guidelines. You wouldn't see people in masks. You would see people out in parties, people together. We've been slowly seeing that to happen without these guidelines even being dropped. But I just want to know, is this literally the end of COVID? Even though COVID is still around, are we accepting it as the new code or the new flu? Because this is what I thought it was going to be in the first place. Even though we had some people dying because we didn't know what it was. Rest in peace to the dead. But still, I never thought it was serious enough to really go as serious as it was. Even though I wasn't no anti-mask or nothing like that. I was following the rules. But anyway, let me know what you think. Is this the end of COVID-19? And what contributed to it? To most people building up immunization? The vaccine or being infected? I'm going to say people being infected. Because even when you had the vaccine, more than likely you probably still got infected. That's just what I think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Even call in, man. Call into the hotline. 313-466-4386. We got the hotline right here. Call into that mug right now. Don't be scared with your goofy ass. Let's go ahead and switch it up real quick. Yeah. We talking about music that we listen to in the audio audit. This is on the R&B side. Listen to it on Apple Music. No endorsement. Vito and OG Parker. OG Parker is a beat maker / producer. He's not an actual artist. Well, he's an artist. But anyway, Vito is the actual singer. His project is called While You Wait. It's a very, very quick listen. It was only 8 tracks, 25 minutes. Right outside of my 30 to 45 minute preference for me to take a project serious. But nonetheless, 8 tracks, 25 minutes, quick listen. And it wasn't bad. It flowed. It just wasn't the greatest. The 8 songs on there, they weren't bad. They just weren't, and they were good. They just weren't, this wasn't nothing like, I was like, oh my God, like I have to listen to this again. Like I can't believe I've been missing this. Like it wasn't anything like that. It was just like, okay, this is okay, another R&B project. I've listened to Vito before. We played some music from him on Power 96.5 WQHH Lansing. We played music from him before, but nothing on this project really stuck or stood out. Actually, you know what? I take that back. It was a song on there. Was it 4 words? I think it was 4 words. Let me double check. I want to be accurate with my actual review. Nope. It wasn't 4 words. It was the song after 4 words, which is Made for Two. Made for Two is pretty decent. That stood out to me. I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. But other than that, it was an okay project. No replay value from me personally. You know, shout out to the artist, though. I'll keep listening if you keep putting out projects. Maybe something will actually stand out and hit. But it wasn't bad, though. It wasn't bad. I would recommend you listen to it and let me know what you think. But if you have listened to it, let me know what you think. Or let me know what you think about Vito in general. OG Parker's a straight producer, though. I actually like some of his beats. That boy be going crazy. Let's keep going. You know what we doing? We're talking about things we seen on the TV screen and the movies and corn stream, you know what I mean? We should switch it up from corn stream since we ain't quarantining no more, right? Let's talk about this movie Carter. This is on Netflix. This is a high action-packed movie. This was, based in Korea? North Korea, South Korea? It's based on some type of war going on with North Korea and South Korea. Some man had some type of technology put inside his head. He forgot who he was. He knew how to fight. He was listening to somebody inside his head to kind of follow directions, stay alive. He was saving body. It was a lot of cliche moments. A lot of cliche moments in this movie. A lot of moments where, who do you work for? Or, say your prayers. You know, one of them situations. It was like at least 3 or 4 situations where the main character was supposed to die. Like it was guns to his head, laser beams, like everything, like hands tied behind the back. Like there's no way he should have survived this. And he literally survived each time. I'm talking about the most cliche moments probably ever. It was so action-packed and not in a good way. I'm talking about super exaggerated. Super exaggerated to the point where there's computer graphics in it, and you can tell there's computer graphics, and they were doing some of the most outrageous bull crap ever. Talking about one of the main first scenes, he jumps out of a window in one building, jumps into the window, through the window of another building, lands into a jacuzzi filled with women, and just gets out, and everybody inside there is just normal. It was what? And then they fighting. They're on a freeway. They're fighting on top of motorcycles while they're driving high speed. Then they're fighting on the train, fighting on the. Oh man, it was for a teenager who likes action movies. This might be the greatest thing ever to you. It's like the North Korea version, the Korean version of a Jason Statham movie. Like literally, it's like a Korean version of that. It was so much exaggerated action in there, but I wouldn't watch this again. Hell no. As I'm watching, I'm like, this is some bullshit. If I've ever seen bullshit, this was it. But anyway, a lot of action, a lot of fakeness, continuity issues. Like, it just wasn't real at all. But Carter is on Netflix. If you want to watch it, go ahead. Waste your time. It's like 2 hours. Like 2.5 hours. It's like 2.5 hours of this bullshit. But let me know what you think. If you watch Carter on Netflix, I'm getting tired of watching Netflix in general. I'm not going to lie. They went up on their prices. I'm thinking about getting rid of them niggas anyway. But let's switch it up. Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan. Couple things we getting into. We're going to start off with the NBA, though. Clearly, right? So Bill Russell, who recently passed away, the NBA great, who I also found out coached my grandfather in the NBA for the Seattle Supersonics in 1973. He's actually getting his jersey retired in the entire league. He's the first and only player to get his jersey retired in the entire league of the NBA. All 30-plus teams or whatever, they're about to retire the number 6. Nobody can wear the number 6 again, other than the people who are currently grandfathered in with the number 6. LeBron James is wearing 6, and I think somebody else, a few other people might be wearing number 6. Other than the people who currently wear number 6, you cannot wear number 6 again, ever in the NBA. From this point on with any team. That's a dope thing for Bill Russell to be the first, and it's well deserved. Bill Russell should be the logo. Also, I feel like they should evolve the logo with each era also. That's just what I think. But you know, rest in peace to Bill Russell on that. Kevin Durant reportedly showing interest in the 76ers. Is he going to get traded to the 76ers? I don't think so. If the Nets do that, they some suckers. Y'all gave up James Harden and Kevin Durant, and I know you're not going to get nothing nearly equivalent. If y'all give him up, yeah. He's just going to have to pay for my team unhappy. Which, like I said, is going to be bad for him in the long run. It might damage the team, but if Kevin Durant plays a bad year just because he doesn't want to play for the Brooklyn Nets, it's going to make his stats bad, his legacy bad, and it's going to make it hard for him to get traded if you playing bad like that. That's just what I think. So, keep him on the team. Keep him on the team. I don't care where you want to go, Kevin Durant. Then we talking about Kyle Kuzma, who went off for 67 points at a Pro-Am in Utah. He got a double-double, by the way. 14 rebounds, 9 assists. Almost had a triple-double on these niggas. Now, in the Pro-Am, in the summer leagues, NBA players, they just go to random leagues and they play. And it ain't like they playing with other NBA players. Now, there were some NBA players here, just like in the Drew League. It was some. You had Scotty Barnes from the Raptors, and you had KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Wizards. Now they played. That's his teammate from the Wizards, Kyle Kuzma. They were there, but the rest of them were probably like college ballers, some good high school ballers, and good street ballers. Other than that, you're not playing against all professionals. But not taking away from it, you scored 67 points against other grown men. Other grown men who should at least be playing defense. So, shout out to Kyle Kuzma, man. You got to give my mans they props on that whenever they do that. Let's go ahead and switch up to sport, though. Talking about the NFL. Preseason is officially underway, man. Officially underway right now. As a matter of fact, you got the Ravens. You got the Ravens currently playing who are they playing? The Titans. Right now, we looking up that score as we speak. The Ravens currently on a 20-game preseason win streak. They won 20 straight preseason games, looking for 21 straight. That don't mean nothing, though. Nothing at all. I'm like, if it means anything to y'all, maybe y'all should be playing y'all backup players in the regular season if them niggas ain't been beat. Then see how they do. Like, seriously, though. I would seriously try that. Then you also got the Patriots playing the Giants right now. That game is 14-10 right now. Baltimore versus Tennessee. Baltimore up 13-10 right now. Right now. You got more games for the rest of the week. I should say my Lions playing their first preseason game tomorrow against the Falcons, 6 p.m. You got Jackson against Cleveland. Jackson already lost the game this season. You got Cincinnati versus Arizona. You got Philly versus New York. And then you got San Francisco versus Green Bay. That's all tomorrow, Friday. Preseason officially underway for the NFL. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Lions. For real. Other than that, we going down to boxing, MMA. There it is. Boxing, MMA. Couple new things we going to talk about. Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. They're trying to lock that in for November 12th or 19th. November 12th or 19th. They're trying to lock that in. That's not a done deal yet, but we'll see if that actually gets locked in. You got, I'm with Bud on that, by the way, Terrence Crawford. Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius. They're looking to do that October 15th, pay-per-view. Looking forward to that fight. There's going to be Deontay Wilder's first fight since, I think, Tyson Fury, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of Tyson Fury, he said he'll come out of retirement and fight Anthony Joshua if Anthony Joshua beats Alexander Usyk in Saudi Arabia August 20th. That's coming up. That's sometime next weekend. We looking forward to that for sure. I want Anthony Joshua to beat on Usyk so that Tyson Fury can come out and fight him like he talking. He said he'll fight him for free and on a free channel like Fox or UPN or something like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that for the free ski if it happens. Then you got Clarissa Shields, Flint's finest, fighting Savannah Marshall September 10th at O2 Arena in London for the middleweight championship. You know I'm rolling with the Shield. Stop playing with your boy. And that's pretty much it in regards to sports. End the show, I think. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. That's coming up. You Kicking It with KC.
If you're like the average American, you are broke and wondering, hey, man, hey, how could I become rich overnight? Well, the answer is finally here. Millionaire Macintosh's Real Estate Seminar. This weekend only, I'll be in your town, hosting my very successful real estate seminar, teaching you how to flip houses with other people's money for only $499.99. But wait, call now and get a free copy of my book, Millionaire in 24 Hours. Actual results may vary. Invest at your own risk.
Welcome back, baby. You Kicking It with KC. Thinking out loud, dog. Do you put in your 2 weeks notice whenever you leave a job? Because I noticed not everybody does that. Or what makes you not put in the 2 weeks notice? Is it if you hate a job, if they didn't do you right? Do you end up just leaving abruptly? See, I just recently put my 2 weeks in at the radio station, man. Power 96.5 WQHA. I put it in for my full-time position at least. I'm deciding to step down from promotions director. I still want to be on the air. I just don't want to do the office part. That's where I'm at with my life. So I put my 2 weeks notice in last week, August 1st. My last day is tomorrow, August 12th. So if I do radio, at this point I want to do it part-time. Unless I get a good ass bag, which I don't see that happening, but I'm not going to rule it out. It can happen. But unless I see that happening, I don't see me doing radio full-time. It takes up too much of my time. So I put in my 2 weeks respectfully, which I've always done. And I'm going to take this leap of faith and just do business, entrepreneurship, and hustle. That's just me thinking out loud. You ever put in your 2 weeks notice? Go off in the live chat in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. That bullshit thinking out loud I just did real quick. Hey, man, I appreciate you for kicking it with KC. If you got this far in the video, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the alert so you know we going live, man. And also tell a friend to tell a friend. If you got some dollars, man, drop something right here, man, so the show can grow, man. Drop your boy something. Also, before we get up out of here, don't play with me, man. Follow me on all social media. Kick It with KC MC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at KIWKCMC. And then follow my sponsor, the brand Team Elite, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at TEAMELITE313. That's Team Elite 313. And for that premium urban activewear, go to the website TeamElite313.com. Ask your mom. Same thing, different channel, baby, or different day, I should say, same channel. Appreciate you for kicking it with Casey, man. We're going to do this thing again on Sunday. Thanks for vibing out and kicking it, man. We out.